Focusing on work, which is Friday. Friday is rest day. Woohoo! We made it to the end of the week. Firstly, big news. Next week, 25th, 26th, is the National Running Show in Birmingham. Hopefully I'll see some of you there, but I was always going to be there because I'm an ambassador for the show. But we've actually, Fordy Runs has got, and Fordy Runs Running Club has got its own stand. So come and see us at M19. Make sure you stop by and come and say hello. It'll be awesome. It's going to be amazing. But yeah, so M19 at the National Running Show next week. If you haven't got tickets, use my code AMB1717 and that'll get you free tickets. But that's next week. Right, so rest days, but I actually call them active rest days. And what do I mean by that? Well, like now, I am on a half-hour walk. Even though it's a rest day, and in my plan it says rest day, I like to stay active and stay mobile during that day. There's a lot of benefits, I believe, that come from just getting out there and keeping that blood going through your legs, keep ticking them over. I'm not talking walking like 20k, I'm just like I say, a nice easy half-hour stroll. If you can get out at lunchtime or in the morning or walk the dog of a night time when it's your rest day, it'll make a huge benefit because you're just ticking over. Your most important thing is you're keeping that blood going through your legs. You should be stretching out anyway, but make sure you spend a little bit more time, maybe a little bit extra time that you maybe would be doing a run on stretching and rolling, like I was this morning. Make sure you're hydrating. Be conscious of the fact of how much water you're drinking on your rest days. Get as much sleep as you can. I mean, you should be sleeping loads anyway, because your body, that's where it really recovers, is during your sleep. You may find actually, I've heard this before, that some people, they struggle with sleeping during marathon training because you're doing so much running, you get that runner's high and it's hard to come down from that. But yeah, so you may be struggling a little bit, don't worry about it, that's totally normal. But even on active rest days, I try and get to bed a little bit earlier. Even though I'm meant to be active, that's kind of a bit of a silly thing to say, but you know what I'm saying. So it's just focusing on that, and it's rest, but it's actually recovery is a better way of saying it. So active rest days actually are recovery days, and that's why they're so important. Your rest days are just as important as your long run days. So yeah, really focus on trying to get the most out of that day that you've put aside, or 2 days that you've put aside for your rest. You know, to give your body the best chance it can to recover for when you go out and do your next run. And that's why they're so important. The other thing you can do, which is what I'm about to do after I finish this walk, is I'm going to go and get a sports massage. Massive benefits during marathon training to sports massages. You know, working on those little key areas where you may have a little knot, or you know, you might have tight hamstrings, tight glutes, or like for me, tight calves. Mentioned it, was it last week, week before? I got a bit of discomfort here. That is my legs, body telling me that I'm probably overtraining, and it's natural at this time in my plan because I've gone up in the miles and I'm obviously going up in speed and workload. My legs are telling me, whoa, what's this all about? So for me, what I find helps, apart from the stretching, is to go and get my calves worked on by a physio. So I'll just die on camera. But that really helps. So that's something I would really recommend during your marathon training plan. I know it's not cheap, but if you can get yourself a sports massage, obviously don't do it like the day before the marathon, anything stupid like that. But during your 16, 17 week plan, I can totally recommend it, just to work out some of those knots, get some of the blood going through some of those sensitive areas. It will really, really help. Right, so yeah, that's a little bit about rest days, my rest days. So the key thing is, be active, don't sit back like I was this morning on that bit of B-roll. Make sure you are stretching, rolling, a little bit more focused. Get out and do some form of walk, whether it's say be a walk at lunchtime, walk to the post office, walk the dog, do something, don't just sit about. Think about hydrating, think about getting to bed early, all that sort of stuff, and maybe if you can, chuck in a sports massage. If you can fit it in. Right, that's it. I'm going to finish this walk, then I'm going to head over to the physio. So I'll catch you guys in a bit. Right, that's me done, and a massive shout out to Monica. Check her out, I'm going to put the links below. What an awesome person. So she's taken me up, sorted me out. I'm now off back to the ranch and then I'm going to show you what we're getting to get sorted out for the long run tomorrow. Right, long run prep. So I've got it all out here just to show. Usually I do this upstairs and get everything ready upstairs, but I do it down here because I can just go through it with you really fast. Tomorrow we'll talk about long run, you know, what I'm doing when I'm out there, that sort of stuff. But just to give you an idea, because this is what I do on a Friday, I get my stuff out early because I'm getting up early and I'm running. I get it all out the night before. So just to go through it with you real fast, we've got, firstly, I get out my gels, humour gels. I spoke about them about a million times. I've got my Niji running vest, which is great. Put my bottles in there, phone goes in there, gels go in there. I've got the 2 bottles, which I'll fill up. And they're going to water. I'm going to be taking water tomorrow. I've got the active route, that's for after my run. I mentioned that the other day. The reason I'm taking water tomorrow is because I'm just, again, playing around. Sometimes I take Lucozade, sometimes I take water, sometimes I take active route. It depends what I'm doing, but tomorrow I'm taking water to wash my gels down. I'm not taking anything other than that. Underwear for underneath, not very pleasant, but I've got my socks as well. These are anti-blister socks from Underwear. My shorts, my Nike ones, nice and light. Got my Tickaboos, Fordy Runs Tickaboos tomorrow. Although it's going to be muddy, but it's going to be cold. So I'm going to be wearing Tickaboos tomorrow. I've got my Snoods from our shop, Giraffe, Chimera stuff as compression. I've got my Rungy mid-layer, which is super comfortable. That's a hoodie. There'll be a review coming out of Rungy in the next few weeks. I've got the Brooks Launch 7 here, which I'm probably going to wear. I'm not sure. It depends what the weather does for the rest of the day. I've been wearing them on and off, but I don't know whether I'm going to do 15 miles in them. I've got them out to do it. It'll either be them or my Asics Glide Rides. One or the other. So that's basically the kit. My gloves, I've got a pair of gloves here, but I'm probably going to wear my Chimera ones because they're warmer. But that's basically it. It's really easy stuff. It seems like a lot of gear, but actually when you put it all on, it's nothing. The important thing is to be hydrated. This Niji vest is like the world's best thing that's ever been invented. It's so lightweight. It's so awesome. Check out my review I did on the Niji running vest. For marathon training, I can't recommend it enough. And oh yeah, don't forget my Padgett's hat. Probably seen it in quite a few videos. That's who I'm running the London Marathon for. Fantastic charity. So sponsor me if you haven't already. But yeah, I think that's about it. So base layer, mid layer, Tickaboo leggings, anti-blister socks, underwear for underneath, snood, hydration, fuel, new pair of shoes-ish. I'm not sure whether it's a good idea. I just don't want to get mucky. that's mainly what it is. Because I think the river might be a bit mucky down here tomorrow. So I may just put the Glide Rides on. But that's long run prep. The only thing that's left for me now today is to have my pasta. So tonight I'm going to have a big bowl of pasta, plain pasta, just with a tomato sauce on. Get to bed early. And that's it. So that's a rest day for me. Hopefully it was useful. Talking about the active rest. Talking about, you know, with what Monica went through with bits and bobs in the physio. With regards to shin splints and stuff like that. But yeah, that's it. So I will catch you tomorrow on my long run.